Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mackenzie Field, where your Kalamazoo Hornets match up against the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. It's the fourth game of the season for both of these teams, and lacrosse season is now finally in swing. Basketball just got wrapped up, and we're back outside in solid weather, just about 40 degrees out there, with a tiny bit of sun kind of coming through here and there in the overcast. I'm Quentin Powers.
I'm Maya Pasillas.
And thank you all so much for joining us today. Maya, how are you doing?
Well, I'm super excited. This is my first lacrosse game of the season. I'm excited. Lacrosse is always so fun to watch, even better to broadcast. And, you know, I do a lot of the women's game, and I'm just excited to do a men's game. I mean, they did great last season. Just excited to see how much more they could do.
100% there, Maya. And I think looking at how they're going to match up today, Illinois Tech started out the season a little bit cold right now. They haven't been doing an incredible job. Something they've been lacking in is just staying super consistent out on the field. They've been trusting their players to score. Players like Connor Montgomery, they've been getting to the goal a lot. But on the other hand, they've been struggling here and there with save percentage, or excuse me, not save percentage, just kind of that consistent defensive presence to stop shots from getting off. I mean, save percentage has been really great for them. They're right around a 65% save percentage rate, and you can credit that to the goalkeeper on Illinois Tech. He's done a fantastic job this year. Ryan Littler, in just those first few games, has kind of made himself look to be one of the best players out there. And right now, we're going to start up in just a second, but anything else you want to say about this game, Maya, about being back out here on Mackenzie Field?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I kind of want to touch a little bit on what you said, right? Kind of like stats not really matching what's going on or anything like that. Well, it's always a little hard to tell in the beginning of the season. They've only had 3 games, right, as for Kalamazoo. Just around 3 games, I believe. And so there's not a lot to build on. You can either have a really great game and then that builds your stats, or you have a really bad game and that builds your stats. Same thing can be true for Illinois Tech, right? They can have a really great game where they have, you know, hundreds of whatever it might be. They do great. That's going to boost up their stats, and maybe that doesn't reflect what's on the field. So really, you can't really trust what goes on in the first couple games. You can definitely take a couple key things like, hey, who's scoring the most, who was leading in that save percentage, you know, who's helping out the team the most. But other than that, you got to really settle in what you know on the field and kind of trust your own instinct, especially this early into the season.
Right, and I think the eye test for those first few games can really show what's going on out there on the field. Kalamazoo, for some of those games, ground balls haven't been too much of an issue, but sometimes those have been pivotal moments where they've needed to pick up the ball more. But still, 2-1 starting the season, a great start either way. They've done a great job kind of keeping that pace up and trusting their star players like Max Plesher. He's done a great job, and that kind of classic jump shot we were talking about before the broadcast that he's got going for him.
Yeah, always fun to watch. Let me tell you, the couple games I did last season, that jump shot, always great to watch.
And so we're just about to start off here, and we're going to let our announcer take it away.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Mackenzie Field. Good afternoon, and welcome to Mackenzie Field on the campus of Kalamazoo College for today's lacrosse game between the visitors from Illinois Tech and your Kalamazoo College Hornets. Kalamazoo College, the MIAA and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by its student athletes, coaches, and fans. We request your cooperation in supporting the student athletes and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated and are grounds for the removal from the site of the competition. Now for the starting lineups for today's game. First, for the visitors from Illinois Tech, coached by Dan Scharbach. Number 0, Diego Sosa. Number 2, Joseph Bedoin. Number 3, Alexander Storkop. Number 5, Cooper Leonard. Number 7, Connor Montgomery. Number 10, Owen Silverman. Number 14, Ryan Littler. Number 18, Will Von Iser. Number 42, Owen Diosaki. Number 88, Boydie Goertzen. Now for your starters for the Hornets, coached by Vince Redko and assisted by Michelle Goldwell and Colby Skinner. Number 0, Plesser Tate. Let me retry that. Number 0, Max Plesser. Number 1, Tate Bless. Number 7, Dylan Adkins. Number 14, Jack Borger. Number 21, Tony Valde. Number 28, Lucas Graff. Number 33, James Daly. Number 40, Luke Bernsky. Number 48, Ethan Hubert. Number 99, Teague Breeden. At this time, we invite you to stand for the playing of the national anthem.
All right, there you have our starting lineups for today's matchup. It's a beautiful day. I mean, for considering the weather we've been having, Maya, this is a huge refresher.
Yeah, let me tell you, we had like a false spring going on about a week ago, and then it was snowing for a second. It's kind of like it got whiplash with all the weather changes, but either way, we're here, and as you said, 37 degrees outside, very nice out. That I'm considering warm, which is a big change for me coming from California, let me tell you.
Right, I bet. And walking over here today and driving over, it was pretty nice. Good conditions out there, not too windy. And I think for these players just coming out in their home field again and showing them what's up for the Hornets it's a good feeling, that's for sure.
Yeah, the last time these two teams met was actually March 1st last season. It came out with a Kalamazoo win 11-6, but it was at Illinois Tech. So this is a little bit different, right? You get this home crowd advantage. You got a good crowd out here, a lot of parents, a lot of family and friends, and you just get to play on your home field team. I mean, that's just nice. So you got the home field advantage working out for you. You got a couple things, the stats obviously in your favor. Excited to see how this one turns out.
100% here, so players matching up right now. As we see at midfield, and just some things I'd like to mention beforehand. I mean, the Hornets, the 2 wins they've gotten this season have been pretty great ones. Starting the season at Wabash, they really kind of expected to go out strong with that one, but ended up being a double overtime matchup where Teague Breeden had the shot to bring it into overtime, and then in overtime both teams playing tough defense, but Kalamazoo still able to pull it through. And then their first loss of the season, only second game of the season, was against Concordia from Wisconsin at home field as well, but just not the type of matchup they had. Kind of an off day. I talked to a couple of the players, and they just said they weren't feeling it. But anyways, here we are. Game has started, and action is underway.
Yeah, no one really taking clear possession just yet. But again, the game just started. You got a couple seconds in. You got a lot of minutes left in this one.
So the Scarlet Hawks taking their time here, trying to get a solid clear. Clears at 75% this season. And so made their way through. Checking around, ball still on the ground. And some big hits, but Kalamazoo runs away with it. And now have a chance on offense. So Plesher's got it. Got a couple of subs coming in. And now he's on the dodge, and he's going to swing. Shot. Great save from goalkeeper Littler there. Had a lot of heat on it.
Yeah, super textbook from Littler. I mean, just really nice, right? Kept his stick up high. Really just covered the ball with his frame.
So Illinois taking their time on the offense, letting those subs come in so they can really get a good attack.
Yeah,
Leonard has got it.
No, I was gonna mention it's also nice to see Kalamazoo already testing the net, right? Already testing where is kind of their area of attack.
And Illinois trying to do that same thing, wrapping around the alley, trying to take it into the X and get a move going. Here it comes, that wrap around, just a little too high. And I think goalkeeper Volid might have gotten a hit on it or just tapped it high. Illinois, though, still retains possession. Sosa, he's been dangerous this season with 6 goals. Keep your eye on him. Here comes the Scarlet Hawks, nothing there again, so just resetting, but shot clock is ticking down. They've only got 10 seconds. Some good defense from Plesher. And now shot clock running down. Really have to get a shot off, and nope. No good there, so some great defense from the Hornets early in this one.
Yeah, nice to see them again, really man-to-man, right? Kind of just following whoever they have a marker on, and then boom, as soon as you see it, the shot clock is down.
And right there, just kind of a misread, a small error, losing the ball and giving it right back to the Hawks. So Illinois Tech getting another chance at it. Sosa swings around the X. We see Kalamazoo not bringing anyone to slide quite yet on any of those players. Kind of waiting for one of the Hawks probably to show up and shine early in this one.
Yeah, they're not being too aggressive, right? Really just moving around, moving the ball, keeping the ball moving, and then just trying to open up some room in the middle, but no one's really taking the initiative to drive.
Yeah, not quite yet. Montgomery to Sosa. And Dave just been going back and forth. The screen from Sosa is good, and that one finds the back of the net. And Montgomery is on the board, and the Scarlet Hawks are also on the board, 1-0 with an early lead.
Yeah, maybe patience is key, right? I was a little bit suspicious of just them kind of holding on to possession, swinging it around as they do, and then right there it seems to play out really well. So that's something that Kalamazoo is going to have to be wary of now, right? You can't just sit back and let them kind of open up the space. They're going to have to be a little bit more extra on that defense.
Definitely. And so face off here. Brody Quinn wins it. It's his first year starting the face-off, so he's still kind of adjusting, trying to get out there, but smothering defense from Illinois Tech right now. They get it right back. But a good interception from the Hornets. They're on the push. Adkins with it. He's got 4 goals on the season as well. He's going to swing it right back out. So in that X position, trying to draw them out of there. Ball security, though, need to hold on to it if you want to keep that ball movement. So trying to make the dodge. Illinois Tech, just a ton of contact there. Does a good job getting away from Novak, but ball's still kind of on the loose. And the long stick, number 42, Tasaki, he's got it. But Hornets get it right back, turnover right away.
Yeah, really good defense again. Diego Sosa right there to kind of force a turnover.
Yeah, that shot was just a little wide out there from Peyton Nowick, and they do get it right back, so gonna try at it again. So Tate Bless with it. He's gonna go nothing. Another great save, and impenetrable right now are the Scarlet Hawks.
Yeah, and it wasn't for lack of a good shot. Take Bless really, really taken out. Like, it was just such a straight shot onto goal. It looked like he was trying to find the gap, and then it was a save either way.
And so some tough passes right now, really risky passes from the Scarlet Hawks, but you got to get back because it's an open goal. So almost a scary moment for the goalkeeper, number 21, Volad. And, I mean, those are the type of situations that are a little bit scary.
Yeah, he definitely came out with a lot of confidence, right, trying to just take it deeper field. But either way, got caught up right there. You got to be a little bit more careful starting off this early in the game, being down a goal as well.
So they bring Plesher right back in. Breeden also out there. Plesher, nice move, and that's a nice bounce shot. That one's good. Hornets now on the board. And go ahead, Maya.
There's nothing to say right there. I was going to say, I mean, we can try to explain that shot all day, but really, really nice. I actually seen them practicing that same shot, right, during warm-ups, and that's kind of, it goes to show, right? You practice how you play. So really, really nice goal right there by Max Plesher.
Yep, and Plesher, his first goal probably won't be his last today. And just found himself in the right spot at the right time. I mean, just a nice job. So Quinn is going to be bailed out there. He kind of got a push from number 15, Dwayne Akins.
Yeah, Max Plesher, just going back to him a little bit, he has played all of the 3 games before this one here. So you can tell this is someone that they look for a little bit of leadership and also to get those points on the board.
Definitely, Maya. And, you know, he's just walking right back onto the field on that attack. Breeden, though, had some space, but just ran into the long stick, so nothing there. Ooh, a good move. Trying to isolate his Luke Berinsky. And that pass. Trying to find the open man in the middle, but Adkins just didn't get his stick on it. But, Maya, those are the type of opportunities we're going to be looking for all day. Kind of that man in the middle on those cuts and those screens.
Yeah, I almost expected Breeden to drive a little bit instead of slinging it out to the X, right? I expected him to kind of cut and drive into the middle and get a shot off. So maybe that's something that we see him take a little bit later on once confidence builds later into the game.
Definitely. And right there, Sosa, again, kind of struggles to hold on. Kalamazoo's got some room. Bless with it and slips it right through. Finds the corner. Kalamazoo is up 2-1. And Tate Bless is having himself a season.
Yeah, really nice by Tate Bless. Able to kind of stay wary of the crease, right? Still building, driving, and then right before he enters that crease, he gets the shot off, exactly staying within the rule book, and then just a beautiful shot at that.
Yeah, and that's a great way of transitioning some good defense into great offense, Maya. We said it all basketball season. We're going to be saying it all lacrosse season. And again, just some minor errors from the Scarlet Hawks, allowing the Hornets to take the face-off through those penalties. And so Honda with it. And I like how they're not trying to force some of those shots. They have some space where they might be able to slip into the crease, but they're taking their time. They want to get those nice shots off today. Right there, that's a tricky one from Atkins, but a great save from Littler again. I mean, already 3 saves so far in this one.
Yeah, you can tell that shot had a lot of heat on it. Littler, even though able to get the save, I mean, it was a little bit scary towards the end when he kind of lost it, fell to his feet.
And then we see Littler try to get across the field goal. He saw a goalkeeper for the Hornets. Valde not in the goal at the time, so. Risky one, so the Hornets trying to take advantage of that risk and promote some good motion right now. So they're allowing themselves to catch their breath. Seeing what Coach Redco is calling out. Breeden walking back in. Breeden on the move. Not giving a lot of space there. So in that X position, let's see. They take it out of there. They don't spend a lot of time on the X trying to get a dodge started in that area. Breeden here, high pressure. He's going to make and take advantage of that. But there, the Hornets just can't hold on. Brzezinski lost some momentum there. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Plesher backing him down. Fakes the roll, gets through. Finds the corner of the goal again, Maya.
Yeah, and that one was just sheer willpower, Plesher. Just literally boxing everybody out, utilizing his body in the most correct way, right? You seen him kind of pressing his back, pushing back, breaking through the defense by himself, a literal bulldozer, and then a shot off into the goal. I mean, you have to let it go into the goal at that point. All that work to drive into the center, it'd be disappointing if it went out.
Definitely there, and Hornets this time not going to be able to get the face-off. Granted it through Illinois' perseverance. They're probably going to stay a lot more clean on those face-offs after a couple miscommunications and just minor errors there. Scarlet Knights swinging, but that pass to Sosa is just way too high, and it just goes straight to the Hornets. Illinois right now is just a little bit timid and a little bit inaccurate on the offensive end.
But defensively, you can tell, I mean, they are putting on the pressure, especially when Plesher or Breeden gets like behind the ball. They are just applying pressure really, really hard right there.
100%, and having that shot clock wind down is a really good sign for your defense. And that's a really tough shot, but also a good save. So Kalamazoo, Scarlet Hawks tried to be on the push there. Shot was only taken within 10 seconds of that shot clock resetting. And so Brzezinski's going to give it to Plesher and Breeden. And we've got two physical forces in Breeden and Plesher. It's scary. Breeden, long shot, no good. Still fighting for it. Ball's all over the place. This one's still on the ground. Breeden finally picks it up. But it looks like they're going to be called for the push.
Yeah, and I want to kind of shout out, you've seen two very different technical players, right? Plesher, someone that's able to body his way into the center. And then you got someone like Breeden who opts for that long ball. I mentioned how that defense is a little bit tougher on those two. Well, they're both handling it in different ways. Plesher decided just to go right into the fire, right, bulldozing through the middle. And then Breeden decides to go for that long shot, utilizing his skill as well.
100%. And let's see if Illinois can get back to 100% on the offensive end. Kalamazoo's defense has been so tough today already early on in this one. And after losing the pass, Hornets are getting it. And so Sears Brings it down. Kale Cook with it, the freshman. From Kalamazoo, very own. Loy Norix High School. I mean, he's right from the area. Now the Hornets on the attack. And Bless is just allowing Hubish to reset. Bless tries to swing it way back out. It's going to go back to the long stick. But I guess he's going to be called for slipping over to the midfield line. It's going to give it right back to Illinois. That was kind of a strange moment. That was interesting.
Yeah, not, I don't know, maybe a little too close to the line
there. Yeah, I guess so. Must have just gotten past it.
Should have played it a little bit safer, maybe bring your body over the line.
Yep. Either way, Scarlet Hawks back with it. Leonard kind of surveying around. Now Montgomery with it. He had some room. Defender on the ground. That shot's
wide.
Yeah, just a little wide. Saw him trying to go for the bounce and kind of a change up from what they've been doing. Just kind of fast, high balls. And Stocker on the outside. Coming from the X. Try to get that wrap around, but they're resetting again. And the pressure on Sosa today is obviously targeted because of how well he has done. And we do see something about the shot clock. Trying to talk it over.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe need some time added, or
I'm not too sure either. It looks like time is going to be taken off. We're at 35 seconds now. So that makes Illinois just a little bit more uncomfortable on the offensive end. And we hear the fans out there and the players getting all hyped up. I got here pretty early, Maya, and I was able to watch the players walk themselves out onto the field. And the energy is revealing. And right now, Hornets with all the energy after the turnover.
Yeah, Honda able to kind of pick up the ground ball and just drive.
So Honda's still with it.
They're going to want to get a shot off before the end here. They got about 30 seconds left.
It's a decent amount of time to work with. There's an open pass, but Bless just kind of missed it, and that one's going to go back to Illinois if they can pick it up, and they do.
Unfortunate there. I thought they were going to feed into the middle, right?
Yeah, Brzezinski, yeah, he was there. But, again, Hornets doing a good job. And now they're pushing it back down. 5 seconds left on the clock. Plesher going to take it all by himself. That one just gets tipped. So, end of the first quarter here. Hornets leading 3-1 over top of the Hawks. And they look pretty good, Maya, I got to say.
Yeah, they do. I got to agree. I was kind of looking over everything. And, there's not a lot to mention other than the fact that both teams are kind of doing their best in terms of the stats that they already have, right? Kalamazoo just playing really, really solid. Trusting their one-on-one offense and defense, and then able to apply. They've gotten some shot clock violations, right? Able to force those shot clock violations. So that's really nice to see. So just really, really good building off on Kalamazoo's side.
100%. Coach Redco really trusts his players to improvise out there. And we see a lot of that on the offensive end. Players trying to attempt that dodge. They don't quite pass the ball all too much on the offensive end, but when they do, it's usually for a good setup. And honestly, I'm liking what I'm seeing from them. Illinois has done a pretty solid job as well defensively, halting the Hornets on multiple different possessions. And I think offensively for the Scarlet Hawks right now, just give it to Sosa. I think trusting him a little bit more with that ball security and kind of moving his way, cutting his way through the crowd. We're going to see a lot more of that. I have just a feeling, just a little feeling.
Yeah, and you can kind of sense the difference in pressures on both sides, right? Illinois Tech sitting at 4 saves right now, Kalamazoo with 1, and that kind of just goes to show, okay, how many opportunities at goal is Kalamazoo getting? And I mean, you'd see it right there. I mean, that Illinois' goalie is going to have to put in the work in terms of turnovers as well. Illinois Tech with 10 compared, not the most major difference with Kalamazoo with 9, but when those small things start to add up, it makes that big of a difference. And it kind of goes to show, right? Hornets sitting 3-1 against Tech here.
They've done a pretty solid job. Can't complain too much coming out of the quarter break. And right now, I think give a lot of credit to Brody Quinn, the sophomore out of Hazlitt, Michigan. He's been running the face-off this season. Hasn't been as successful as he wants to be, but just his first year starting, he's done a pretty incredible job at his size and his ability, just kind of coming into that role as your face-off player. And trying to fight for it. You respect the fight, but it's going to give it right back to Illinois.
Yeah, it's crazy. Actually, in that first period, it was actually Kalamazoo that won majority of the faceoffs. It was 4-1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's just really coming into that role as the main faceoff guy on this team.
And we talked about Kalamazoo having problems with ground balls. Well, also in that first period, it was 11-7 in terms of ground balls. Kalamazoo with 11 of those.
And those are solid numbers for the Hornets, something they won't complain about later on. They just got to be able to keep it up. Montgomery with it. Good dodge, but gets quickly covered up by Daly. Montgomery again with it, swings it to Stockerp. Now Sosa. Sosa's feeling a lot of pressure right now. I think he's kind of being a little more timid after some minor errors. You can't let yourself get down like that. Leonard shot on goal. Just goes straight into Valdod, and I mean, just some great action again there.
Yeah, really not a lot of notes for him. I mean, he's been doing great at goal. He just needs to continue that throughout the next two periods.
Ooh, and Sears. I mean, he's a great defensive player, but on the offensive end makes his player trip up a little bit. And good looks. So, Hornets getting their offensive players back onto the field. Plesher's kind of wrapping around. And just has to reset.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're kind of looking for some type of planned out shot here. A lot of resetting.
Yeah, and Bless on that outside, coming from the X, tried to get a shot, but I think just kind of sidearmed it a little off. Felt a little awkward there.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like there's a little bit better options than taking the drive there, especially if they continue to reset to the outside.
So Brzezinski, kind of a chill screen from Bless, or excuse me, from Adkins. Now Bless has got it. Bless just lost it. Some good defense from the Scarlet Knights. All credit to Owen Dasaki. And now Scarlet Knights, chance to prove themselves. Just kind of back and forth. Great defensive possessions right now.
Yeah, but I think, Illinois Tech having a little bit of trouble in that transition period, right? You've seen a lot of defensive wins for them, and then it kind of fizzles out on the offense. So here's to see how they kind of change that maybe into the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, and a couple of those turnovers we saw in the first were just off some, unnecessary mistakes, unforced errors on passing. And a lot of those passes were risky. They would have paid off if done well and executed correctly. But right now, I think they're just trying to eliminate those and get the shots they want to see today. Von Iser telling his teammates to cut. And almost got a hit, but I think he did actually. I'm pretty sure number 14, Bungart, just kind of put his long stick out and got a little tap on the ball. So Plesher's going to be right back with it. And now Bless. Oh, had a shot there.
Yeah, and he's going to want to have that one back. Really, really nice shot. So close to the crease, right? And then he lets it off. Such power and just wide. I mean, that I know for sure he's going to want to run that one back and try it again.
It's the angle he wants. That's where he always is on the field as well.
And he had the room as well. A lot of space, weirdly.
And there, somehow, Hornets slipped through the defense. Now players are flying everywhere. Clean contact. I mean, Adkins found himself in the right spot, but oof, tough one. But Dubek had to force it.
Yeah, and that's that transition again, right? You're just not able to settle. Illinois Tech just having that trouble, right? They're not able to kind of bring the ball down and gain that possession. They're really good once they have it, and then they're able to reset around the key and everything like that. But then it's just during those transition plays when they're not able to kind of settle, and Kalamazoo is able to kind of weasel their way in defensively and break up plays.
Okay, and just notified there's going to be a penalty, so man-up situation, I think, for Illinois. Yeah, it looks like Adkins is going to be called for unnecessary roughness, so minute penalty box. Illinois is definitely going to be on the push. We see Kalamazoo low pressure right now, giving them a lot of space on the outside.
Yeah, it's looking like they're trying to just bunker, right, and then just leave it to the goalie there to handle any long shots.
And they've got this kind of 5-man out, 1-man in. Now the pressure is starting to hit. He does a good job applying it there. That really slows down Illinois. A good defensive read by Daly from Kalamazoo.
And it's kind of funny. This is actually how indoor soccer teams a lot of the time play their power plays, right? Defensively, the team that is a man down just bunkers down, applies pressure every now and then just wait for mistakes like those.
And so ball movement interrupted. Now Illinois taking the shot. And Sosa is back on the board. And they are able to really use that man up.
Yeah, literally, I mean, able to force Kalamazoo to come out of that bunker nature, right? You've seen everybody kind of move and gravitate towards the ball, opening up that side right by the net, and then boom, you make that connection to your left. I mean, it's going to be a goal.
Definitely, and there's a lot of those situations where ball's loose, and you use that speed to regain that type of possession. Pletcher there, also trying to get possession. This one's so on the loose. Can he grab it before? And he just doesn't quite hold on and tip it back in.
Yeah, and that was all defensively, just grand, number 23. Just really, really pressuring and then continuing to check the stick.
So the Hornets now back to equal matchups. They're able to put a lot more pressure on the outside, where I think they've succeeded today. Good pass there. Shot is off, and a great save again from the Hornets. They've done a pretty good job of that. And it's good to see Illinois, though, take a shot and take that type of risk.
Yeah, again, we talked about how they were sitting a little bit timid, right? And then coming into this later into the second period, they're a little bit more comfortable now, right? Letting off those shots. They got a second goal in, so they're sitting a little bit more comfortable with the scoreboard. But still not where they want to be.
Definitely, and right now we see Konopaki trying to isolate on the outside and give himself an opportunity. Wanting to tie this one back up. But Sosa, he really is the dangerous one out there. Somehow finds an angle, grabs his own miss. And a crazy shot from Bedoin.
And one goal for Illinois Tech from number 2, Joseph.
I mean, Maya, that was crazy. Some really good finding the ball from Sosa and then Bedoin just kind of flicks it in. Gosh.
Yeah, and I was going to mention, you know, Kalamazoo's goalkeeper, Valed, right, doing a really nice job. He utilized his body for the first save, but then when he was able to kind of pick up his own deflection, bring it back into the offensive pressure, get the goal, I mean, that was just nice. And now they're sitting at a different game. It's 3-3, all tied up in the second period.
And so momentum swing going to Illinois. Similar to a lot of sports, it's a game of runs. And when you're hot, you ride off that energy. So right now, Montgomery with it. He's coming back in. And you see those three kind of powerhouses in Montgomery and Sosa. And now, after Bedoin got the goal, he's probably feeling it too. So Leonard on the outside, high pressure from Irke.
Yeah, and Kalamazoo already sitting different from that first period.
And Irke does a good job of keeping him out of the crease. They can hold on to it here. They do. Sears sprints through the other side, and that's a huge defensive possession and a sigh of relief, if anything, for the Hornets.
Yeah, and really utilizing his speed right there. Sears able to kind of just press forward. I mean, that's a way to break up all that pressure they were facing on the opposite side of the field, right? When you're able to kind of just run out of it, outrun your defender, that is something very key. And the skill that you can utilize for the majority of the game.
And so a timeout is going to be called. The Hornets have possession. A really great defensive, kind of a defensive possession, Irke put some good pressure on and kind of forced Illinois to make some uncomfortable passes. That's how they succeeded in the first quarter. But all credit to Illinois right now. A lot of those offensive plays they've been making, just pure powerhouse plays and a power play as well.
And, we talked about it, right? They were sitting a little bit shy in that first period. Well, if you take a look at the shots right now, Illinois Tech with 5 shots compared to Kalamazoo's 2 shots. And that's a major difference from that first period where Kalamazoo actually outshot Illinois 8-6. So already a different looking game, and it's only the second period. I feel like we've kind of already gone through a couple of changes defensively, offensively. I mentioned a lot how Illinois Tech was having trouble with that transition play. Well, they're kind of moving past that, right? It's like if you can't fix that, you got to get better at other parts of the game, and they're really, really doing a nice job of driving now, getting around the crease, maybe building back to the outside and then getting a shot into goal. So really, really nice movement from them on their side.
Definitely, and coming out of Chicago, I mean, it's a long drive. It's not too long of a drive if you really think about it, but still, it's kind of a taxing one. And coming here early in the morning, Illinois probably not feeling super energetic, but now in the second quarter, we're seeing that energy run high, and now both teams creating this into a really competitive match.
Yeah, and both teams sitting at 2 turnovers apiece, and that just goes to show this is a fast-moving game. There's not even time to kind of build on that turnover stat sheet part of that game, and they're just continuing to move, right? Continue to move, continue to change. Now it's just up to the Hornets to kind of figure out, okay, what is our plan to kind of change our game to fit a little bit more to what Illinois is playing now.
So Brzezinski on the outside got a whole lot of speed. Now to Plesher, now to Breeden. Breeden's going to have a hard time getting past Brown there. He has been putting the pressure on all of Kalamazoo's star players. Plesher does give some space off the screen, but resetting back to Bless and the X. Now a good roll from Brzezinski. Brzezinski gets it to go.
Off a sub shot at that.
Wow, I mean, that's got to be, well, how many yards out is that? That's 15 yards or so? I mean,
yeah, and it's already a little bit harder when you get it, that below the waist shot, right? That sub shot, really nice to see there.
Yeah,
from Brzezinski, I mean, come on.
Gosh.
That is the type of shot that is going to hype up your team and shift momentum back to your side, and you can kind of see it a little bit on the bench. You can see it from where we're looking as well, probably from the camera angle. I mean, it's just a difference in momentum on both sides right now. You can feel it in the air.
And riding off the momentum again is Quinn winning the faceoff. And it's always a good thing to see as a Kalamazoo fan or any sort of lacrosse fan when your team brings back in those offensive players, subbing everyone in and out, trying to set yourselves up for success once again. Nowak with it, has some room. That's a bounce shot, just a little bit off. They're going to keep possession, though. Bless is the closest man to the ball.
Yeah, just a little bit short. Try to beat him at the near post and then just a little bit off the mark.
And Bless on that outside. Switching it back over. Now we see Breeden and Plesher taking a break, allowing some of those younger players to come in and show their own abilities. But Adkins, he's dangerous as well. That shot's off. It's still going to stick with the Hornets, but the clock is really ticking down. Oh, no, it's going to reset there.
Yeah, and if Atkins would have got that goal right there, I'm telling you that would have ended up in a highlight reel. Really, really good dodging and weaving towards the center, and then getting that shot off was just so clean.
So Bless, a nice skip pass. Passing already just has kind of improved since the first quarter. A little bit more clean from the Hornets. Wilcox, freshman from Granby, Colorado. He's with it now. Gonna swing it back out. Hornets taking their time here, and with younger players out on the field, trying to find who's got the confidence. Adkins, though, you know he's got it. He slips through and goes between the legs.
Oh my God, another sub shot, right? And it only gets better and better. Atkins just weaving, dodging all around the net, and then turns, gets the shot off below the waist, between the legs. That was beautiful. Another nice shot to kind of add onto the stat sheet, sitting 5-3 now into the second period.
And Littler was not expecting that type of room. I mean, Adkins on the spin and the roll, finding the crease, Maya. Man, just ideal textbook move. Quinn still fighting for it. No foul is called, no penalty. But it looks like now they're going to call one. Okay, so foul is going to be called. Hornets are going to be given possession.
And always nice to see a little bit of help from the crowd, making sure all the Hornets are wary of any defenders creeping up from behind.
Yeah, that's nice. I remember back in the day, you got a defender coming at you from behind, and you hear your teammates yelling, but that extra added effort from the audience is nice, I will say. So Breeden and Plesher are back in after getting a nice breather. Plesher, he's just going to take it right through. Stops himself kind of at that corner spot of the goalpost. Still trying to find the crease, and now big contact.
Yeah, all sorts of tangled up on the floor. I believe that's Littler, and yeah,
And now we see
flag on the play.
Flag running out, and wow, that one had some height on it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, really trying to emphasize the flag right there.
Yep.
Making sure everybody saw it.
Curious what they're going to call. I mean, obviously, Plesher might be the main suspect.
And it does look like Plesher's going to take a step off field.
Yep, but the real question is for how long, and what can they do? Okay, so just got a notification, unnecessary roughness for just 1 minute now.
And Illinois Tech was able to capitalize the last time they had one of these opportunities, so I'm hoping Kalamazoo kind of knows what they're trying to run now, right? You're going to try to bait someone out and then break the whole formation of this bunker. So they got to be a little bit careful here and make sure they don't fall for anything, like any type of bait trap here.
And when you see these man-up situations, power play possessions, a lot of movement, just trying to get those types of shots. And they do. Leonard finds the cut.
And again, they did exactly what they had to do, right? You bait one out, and then from there, you just have to either handle the one-on-one, or if you get everybody off of formation, then you just find the gap. Well, they baited one-on-one, right? Got a little bit of back and forth, and then found the gap, goal into the net, and then, yeah, I mean, 5-4 already looking different. So it just seems like it's kind of like in basketball, right? When shots go back and forth, and you need to find a way to break the pattern. So Kalamazoo moved up 2 goals and then gave up 1 here in the power play.
And Bedoin is going to be credited with the assist. It's a really good find on the pass. They do a really good job of that. Quinn unable to get that face off. So Tech, Illinois Tech has got it. And Sosa letting Bedoin come back in. He's having himself a pretty good day, just as a solid facilitator. But the Hornets can now match up. They've been a lot more successful when they've had equal numbers. And I think that goes for all teams, but especially today, you can just see the difference in the pressure they put on. Montgomery. High pressure. The slide came, so it left a man open, but the Hornets still adjusted. Sosa. Now to the outside, keep resetting, just kind of swinging the ball. Some great ball movement right now from Illinois. The shot is off, and that one hits the body of Max Saxton, and that one's really got to hurt.
Yeah, painful. I'm not sure if it was onto his side or maybe hip area, but, I mean, it was completely off his body. He's going to take a second, check off field, and then probably come back right in later. But either way, I mean, that has to hurt. I mean, yeah, I'm just thinking about it. And, I mean, full speed coming into your body, you're going to see me out for more than a couple minutes. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and these guys are used to it, but a shot like that, oof, it's got to hurt. And so Max Saxton, kind of with the save of his own out there on the field. Lance Little is going to be coming in.
Yeah, especially if it would have gotten past Saxton, it would have been a shot on goal for sure.
And another shot on goal for Illinois Tech. Just goes a little wide. Some aggression right there from Cooper Leonard.
So really Kalamazoo's sitting on this defensive leg right now, trying to flip the side, and that's going to do it for them as well.
So 1:40 left in the half. Hornets up by 1. The passes are just a little off right now. They still get it back, and they're going to call a timeout. Going in with 1:30 in the half, around 67 seconds on the shot clock. So,
yeah.
Good stuff right now, Maya. What are we seeing?
Yeah, no, I was actually going to mention, not 100% sure if, to be honest, I'm not exactly 100% sure who called the timeout, but if it was Kalamazoo, I'm not exactly in favor of that call.
No, you wanted them to kind of keep it going?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see this play progress a little bit. It felt like they were kind of on that front foot. I felt like momentum is on Kalamazoo's side, and when you call these timeouts and you break up these plays, yes, it gives you time to reset, but if you don't come out with a goal at it, I feel like it's kind of at a loss, right? So really looking to see what they kind of build out of this timeout. What is their plan of attack to kind of make sure that they get everything they can out of taking this break? Because in my eyes, I feel like it kind of just broke momentum a little bit more than it needed to. Either way, though, I know this Kalamazoo team is very capable of building. You've seen it a couple times, right? They build up around the key, they find the gap, they take the shot off. And usually I have a little bit to say more about maybe I want to see them apply more pressure or see, different defensive plays or transition or anything like that. But I honestly feel that this Kalamazoo team is playing pretty solid right now in all kind of ways. Maybe you lose a little bit in the turnover sense, but other than that, I feel like they've been playing really, really strong into the second period, especially into the second half of the second period, to get a little bit more specific. They've kind of looks like they're sitting a little bit more comfortable to how Illinois has changed from that first to the second period. So just now to see if they can capitalize off taking this time out and off of having time to talk to their teammates and their head coach and figure out what is their plan of attack.
Definitely, Maya. I think that timeout for some teams is necessary. And I do agree sometimes that momentum is important because they've done a pretty great job on defense, but also just kind of having your team come out, all your offensive attack players get all subbed in after the timeout. Everyone you want is on the field. That allows some extra time to not tick off the clock there. So Breeden with it. Had some room at first, but number 19, Alton Brown, was able to get there. Breeden, they're putting a lot of pressure on Breeden today, I have to say. And credit to Brown for some good work.
Yeah, and that just goes to show that Illinois Tech did their homework, right? Finding out who is their key offensive players.
And now we see a flag is up in the air after, I believe, number 40, Brzezinski's going to kind of cause that contact to happen. And again, Maya, I saw you motion the flag get called. Wow, this guy, he has got some oomph.
Yeah, some oomph and some range in the flag throwing game.
He does. So Hornets, they've got numbers now.
I believe this is going to be their first opportunity playing a man up here.
I think it is, Maya.
So they don't usually have the full minute that they have to work with, but they got a good 45 seconds.
And with the numbers they have, they keep swinging. You want to find the open man on the cut because there's always one open man on the field.
And you can tell.
The shot from Plesher. Another deep one. Cuts it through. Blistering speeds. You don't even need to do anything fancy, Maya.
I know, and I was going to say, they only had under a minute to work with, and right there, Plesher making sure they utilize all the seconds that they had. I was even going to mention before the shot that Illinois Tech was defending a lot differently than how Kalamazoo does, right? Kalamazoo bunkering down during the power plays, but Illinois Tech really went one-on-one, not really a bunker per se, and they had to pay the price right there as they gave too much room for Plesher to let off the shot.
And Plesher now, with that one, has a hat trick on the day. Did a great job of just putting the speed on the ball, and a really great job. This ball is still on the loose, and time is ticking down. So extra pressure is going to be credited to the Hornets. The clock does stop, so 13 seconds to score. I mean, there's a chance.
Yeah, you can tell that whole bench is pumped up right now for the Hornets. Exactly the type of energy you want going into the half.
So clock ticking down, 5 seconds. Going to take it. That one finds the back of the goal again. Brzezinski is on fire.
Yeah, a sub shot from Brzezinski. I don't know if that's his favorite or something, but he has to do it more often. I mean, 7 of 4 now. It was from a long ways out. Took a couple bounces on the floor and found its way in the back of the net. Brzezinski really showing off his stuff right now. Really just showing off a lot of grace as well behind the ball.
And only 10 seconds came off the shot clock there, Maya, and the game clock, excuse me. I mean, it's just very impressive. So now, shot's going to go way off, and we're about to go into halftime. But, Maya, we've gotten some really great action in this one. Hornets leading 7-4 on Illinois Tech.
And they're actually going to let them play out maybe the last 2 seconds of this period. I thought maybe they'd just kind of go with the buzzer there, but looks like they really want them to let them play out this last. Hey, anything's possible. You got 3 seconds on the clock, maybe a 1-2, kind of like in basketball, catch and shoot here.
And let's see, he does find himself able to kind of get in that crease. You could tell Sosa really wanted to get the ball there.
Because that pass intended for Sosa, and he was open down the middle.
He was.
So if he was to let that shot off, it probably would have ended in a goal before the half. And that kind of brings us into halftime. So a little bit here to talk about. I mean, we talked about the sub shot from Brzezinski. We could talk about it all day, but there's been a couple good shots in the first and second quarter. Either way, though, I always talk about how teams want to leave the half with momentum, right? You want to carry either get the last shot or get the last good play. It doesn't always have to be a goal, but if you can leave with momentum on your side coming out of the half, that kind of, I don't know why, but it gives you this added plus to come into the second half with a little bit more oomph, a little bit more momentum on your side, coming in a little bit more confident. But I'll take a look at the scoreboard now, 7-4. Kalamazoo can have a lot of confidence here coming in to that third period. They can sit a little bit more comfortable. Obviously, the game is not over, so knowing this Kalamazoo team, they're not just going to sit back and let Illinois Tech do what they want here. They're going to want to continue to grow the scoreboard, continue to grow that lead, continue to get goals in the back of the net. Really nice work here from the Hornets in that first and second period.
And all credit right now, I mean, Plesher's doing a fantastic job, but the freshman Luke Brzezinski from Lake Orion, Michigan, is on a roll right now with some of these shots. I mean, gosh, the confidence and the ability is on display. You love to see it. He's pumped up. And, I mean, Illinois Tech, on the other hand, what do you got to say about them right now?
Well, Illinois Tech, I mean, still doing a really, really nice job. They got a little bit more comfortable into that second period. You can see by their scores, you know, they got scoring a little bit more spread out. You got Sosa with 1, and then Leonard with 1, Montgomery with 1. Everybody basically on that scoreboard, only 1. You take a look at Kalamazoo's side, Plesher already with a hat trick. All right, you got 3 goals on the day, so you know he's having a great day. Brzezinski with 2. And you just keep going down. Atkins with 1, you know, we kind of go back to that goal by Atkins. Really, really nice shot there by him. And, I mean, I don't got a lot to say because they're playing really, really strong out there. Illinois Tech, obviously, it all goes down to one thing for me, and it's their transition plays. During the power play, they played a little bit different. They didn't play bunkered down, and maybe they know that's not going to be key for them. Now they know, okay, for the next power play, we got to play a little bit tighter. But in terms of kind of what you're seeing throughout the game, Illinois Tech just having a little bit of trouble in that transition period, and it's costing them the game right now, 7-4, right? I feel like a lot of them have been off these kind of broken up defensive plays by Kalamazoo that will bring it back onto the offense. Then Kalamazoo kind of settles and drives, but it all starts from breaking off the play from Illinois Tech. And then you look at the stats a little bit in that first half. You got Illinois Tech sitting at 15 shots, so doing a lot better now, right? Talked about that first period, how they were very, very shy. Well, now they're kind of sitting even with Kalamazoo since Kalamazoo has 17 shots. And then as well, when you look at turnovers, Illinois Tech with 14, Kalamazoo with 12. And just looking at faceoffs, I mean, everything kind of is showing that they're getting a little bit more comfortable into the game. But that first and second period is costing them right now as they sit 7-4.
And as we say that, Maya, we're going to be back with you guys in about 5 minutes to start the second half. But again, stick with us. All right, welcome back. We're just about to start second half action here. And it was a quick break, only a 10-minute halftime, but it's chilly out there. So you want to keep your players kind of limited in that cool weather. But either way, just about to start it off. Anything you want to say, Maya, before we begin this second half?
No, not really. If you missed that first half, I mean, I encourage you to go and watch it after the second half here, right? You got to stick with us just a little bit. But overall, just really keep an eye on Plesher. Has a hat trick on the night, and then Brzezinski right behind him with 2 goals for himself. And then from there, I mean, just really, really nice work all around. You got Tate blessed with 1 on the scoreboard as well as Adkins. So a couple players to keep in mind for Kalamazoo. You're looking over to the Illinois Tech side and really scoring all across the board. Really, Sosa is still looking to wake up a little bit. So a couple players to keep in mind. Other than that, I'm all excited for the second half here.
Yeah, I'd like to mention as well, Brzezinski, those 2 goals are his first 2 goals of the entire season.
Hey, there you go. Way to open up your season.
He is having a good time on the offensive end in that aspect. Illinois Tech, a huge check right there from Quinn. And kind of confirms after he lost the faceoff that we're getting the ball right back. So nicely done there.
Yeah, and that's something nice that I've really enjoyed seeing from Quinn for the majority of this game is if he does lose that faceoff, the effort is not gone. I mean, he will put his body on the line to regain possession. You've seen right there how it plays out for him sometimes.
So Breeden swings it to Brzezinski. Brzezinski, let's see if he goes at it again. A good pass to the inside, but a great read from the Scarlet Hawks. Number 88, Bodie Gortson, just read it like a book.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny how Plesher is able to kind of dwindle down his aura in that middle section, right? Like, you don't notice him until the pass is intended for him, and then you're like, oh, my God, he found a space in the middle. So really, really nice job. I always am a little bit curious how players are able to do that, especially when they have a big scoring presence on the field.
So now Hornets done a good job defensively after a kind of miscue of a pass. And the rainbow goes to Plesher. So a solid clear, and then we see Sears is going to drop himself back. Same with Plesher.
I'm actually kind of curious to understand why they kind of lay off the defensive pressure off Plesher, but when it's Breeden behind the stick, it's like they really, really put on the gas for him.
And I think it just could be the matchup. You know, that depends on the player. But a shot off there, close, but no good from Ronan Honda. Another great save, though, from Littler. I mean, he's done a pretty good job, as well as the job he's could have done with some of these shots today. He's been given a full toolkit from the Hornets.
Yeah, and actually credit to Honda. He's had a pretty good first half as well. He's had a couple opportunities, and obviously he's going to want those back, especially like the one he just had. But honestly, Honda has been creating a lot of room, a lot of space, a lot of chance shots. So good and positive to see from him.
And so this one is a good save there. I mean, that's a tough shot again. They're going for him right now.
Yeah, tough shot, tough save. Really, really nice work on both ends of the ball.
Yeah, and Nowick, he's been going for it today, trying to get himself on the board as freshman as well. But Hornets get the interception.
Again,
and they cut it back from the push.
Yeah, and again, that's Honda, right? Like, getting that interception, I'm pretty sure that's not the first time he's done that. I believe in that first period I've seen him pick up a couple of those ground balls. So really, really nice work. A lot of determination coming off of him.
And after a turnover, converting it into offense, the Hornets now still without Plesher or Breeden out there. A nice move by Wilcox, or excuse me, Honda. Now Adkins, that one gets saved as well. Right now, they're doing a pretty solid job there, but they turn it over back to the Hornets.
Yeah, another small error, and we've seen a couple of those. I think me and Quinton were kind of discussing that, you know, Illinois Tech is kind of giving up these easy turnovers and unforced errors.
Yeah, and those unforced errors make all the difference at the end of the day. I mean, the Hornets haven't been able to pull through with some of these scores, but they've been able to pull through off those turnovers and giving them more opportunities to expand the lead. Hornets swinging it around. Adkins has got it. And now Honda. A good look on the inside. Brzezinski had another chance at it. Kind of a skip shot.
Yeah, and it looks like he lost his balance, right? Obviously taking a tumble towards the end. I think if he would have had a little bit more of like a hold in terms of foot placement and all that, it would have been a shot in the back of the net.
And another shot is no good. So the Hornets, they've been getting the shots they want, but right now Littler has been doing a fantastic job of influencing on those.
Yeah, and just a bunch of weed whacking right now. I don't know. Just trying to force a turnover here.
Yeah, and the ground ball just still flying around everywhere. My goodness. Bodies on the ground, flying.
Still no one holding possession just yet.
And it looks like Adkins was able to finally get it. Whew, that's exhausting for everyone.
Yeah, especially it was just kind of rolling around the floor.
And look at the skip pass there. Oh, but a great save from Littler. Honda had a one-on-one opportunity. So Breeden back in.
And there's that pressure on Breeden.
He does a good job of staying unselfish and giving up those times where he has that type of pressure on him. Adkins, a nice move. Now to the inside, gives it up to Honda. Honda's on the board, 9-4, Hornets lead.
Yeah, and it just needed to happen for Honda, right? Had a couple looks on goal, and then right there, the pass, the placement, and then the shot off. Perfect first, second, and third finish there from this Kalamazoo side. So Honda finally gets on the board, and it was a nice one at that.
A great pass to the inside, a great shot from Honda. And when those ISOs and dodges aren't working entirely, kind of focusing on Plesher or Breeden, or even today, Brzezinski, those passes really do the dirty work in finding your players. But Illinois able to win the faceoff, but a sloppy pass again. And it's going to go back to the Hornets because of that pass. And that's tough right there, Maya. That's another moment they're going to be looking back on film and say, hey, we got to be a little more precise.
Yeah, because it's been those kind of wonky passes that's gotten them, and then Kalamazoo just able to capitalize. Right here, it looks like they might get a break. They will.
Yeah, and Petticone just a little off on that pass, kind of signals to his teammate, like, hey, my bad. I'll get it next time. And so right there, goalkeeper Valde really taking the risk.
Yeah, you've seen him come out of goal a couple of times like that. One of them, he actually gave up a goal, I believe, due to that.
And so Illinois, good pass to the inside, but an even better save.
It's scary. It was on the line, and all they had to deal with was basically his crease area.
And a rainbow to Sears is complete. Wow, that's a cross-field pass. Dangerous, but nicely done. And it looks like timeout. So breaking the action, letting those players take a breath. Hornets looking real comfortable.
Yeah, I'm starting to think these timeouts might be a little bit more so for them to kind of take that breath, because they've been a little bit at weird timings. I know right now maybe for Illinois it's kind of like, okay, we're sitting down 4 goals. We're not playing our best. The passes have been a little bit off. How do we fix that? But I kind of thought maybe they'd play a little bit longer before a timeout is called, given that they just got out of the 10-minute halftime. So, but sometimes, you come in playing and you immediately don't like what you see. You got to take that time out.
Agreed, and I do believe sometimes getting the right crew on the field is important. The right players you want for your offensive possession. And maybe Coach Redko, with a 4-point lead, they start to change up the game plan a little bit, start chipping away at the clock more, kind of halt back that aggressiveness, and just start to dial it in on the defensive end. When you're up by a decent amount, you start to get a little more comfortable. So maybe they'll start to
Yeah.
try those offensive sets.
Yeah, I don't know. Seeing how this Kalamazoo team plays, I actually probably won't expect them to do that until the fourth period, and maybe even later into the fourth period. I mean, you had that women's game where they won. I believe they got like 21 goals.
It was 23-0, Maya.
There
It was incredible, yeah.
Like, obviously, it's a little bit of a different game here on this field, but knowing that you don't give off the gas, you don't give off the gas pedal, you don't stop, you keep going. That's something that is kind of the mentality I feel like majority of these Kalamazoo teams on campus have. And so I'd expect this team to continue being aggressive, but then, as you said, choose those moments a little bit more specifically now. You see those open shots, okay, I choose to be aggressive during that time. And then all the other times outside of that, choose to chip off the time off the clock, right? Choose to kind of waste the time a little bit and get yourself closer to just securing the win.
And, yeah, I think what you said, Maya, we've kind of got ourselves a little combo of what we think will happen in that case, More precise, but still, foot on the gas. We'll see what they do. Looks like we've got some sort of clock error or maybe something else. Not always sure what's going on.
Waiting, still some communication.
Yep. Okay, now we're back at it. I think shot clock ticked off just a little bit extra. Reading a nice pass to Bless. Bless wants to give to Plesher. Plesher thought about giving the screen. He's still going to have it on the X. And now with that size, thinking about backing down, but the slide came. So Brzezinski with it. Before this game, Illinois Tech didn't really have their eye on him, but now it's kind of developed just in a short amount of time as one of the better players here. And now a tough shot and a great save from Littler. I mean, wow, just put his body on the line.
Yeah, those long shots are a little bit harder to track, especially when they take a bounce off the floor like it did.
And there the Hornets kind of corner Duasaki, and I mean, that's an ideal defensive possession. Textbook, not allowing Illinois to get the clear. And so now we see Kalamazoo taking their time. Brzezinski, he's been leading the way on these offensive possessions. Him and Bless have been big facilitators. Plesher, back to Brzezinski. Pass is just a little off, and he gets bodied right there, causing the turnover.
Yeah, and he felt that a little bit. You can see him kind of carrying his left side a little bit, his right, excuse me.
Yeah, and sort of slow to get up, but he will be back up. And now, too much contact from behind, allowing Illinois to take it back there. And credit to Gortson there on Illinois, doing a good job of absorbing the contact, but still getting the clear.
Yeah, and I feel like this is an opportunity here for the Hawks to kind of figure something out, right? You had a chance to kind of settle down and build, so curious to see how they kind of build and get the shot off. They need one desperately, though. I feel like momentum has really left their side completely, and they've got to build.
Building indeed right now. Haven't seen him on the offensive end nearly at all in this second half. And so Sosa is getting big hits right now. He just doesn't hold on. And more great defense from the Hornets. You think about how potent their offense is, but if their defense can perform at this level all season, good things are coming. So Bless. But now it looks like more shot clock reset, shot clock errors.
Yeah, we're a little used to those, right? These kind of shot clock mishaps. But either way, they continue to press on and play on. These teams do a really, really good job of kind of rolling with the punches.
Yeah, rolling with the punches indeed. Gives those players a second to breathe as well. I know we talk about kind of staying in the action, staying with your pace, high pace of play. Sometimes it's nice to get a breath out there. So the Hornets just going for the shot. That one, I think, was a little wide right, trying to get the bounce shot.
Yeah, it goes into the netting and then deflects out wide.
And now Hornets are going to keep it after the shot. And Wilcox swings it back out. Nowak. He has some space, trying to get the dodge started. Has some room. That one's good. Found himself in the crease. And I think even goalkeeper Littler was surprised to see him slip through the lane like that.
Yeah, and that was all just good footwork, right? Nice dodging and weaving, and then getting the shot off cleanly. Really, really nice work right there to get the shot on the board.
And so, well done job. Still a lot of time left in this one. The Hornets are up by 5, 9-4. And Illinois, they need to start answering that call. And the first way to answer is getting that face-off. So they do get the face-off. They're going to want to be careful with how much pressure is being applied by the Hornets. The defense gets better and better as this game has gone on. And I feel like they just are playing a lot more confident as well.
Yeah, and I'm just waiting for this Illinois team to kind of, I don't know, just get a little bit more aggressive offensively, especially as you know the clock is dying down.
Sosa, deep shot, no good, and that one's going to hit his opponent, his teammate, I think. Alexander Stocker got hit for that fastball right in the back. Oof, that's got to hurt, but either way, Hornets back with it here, and we see Quinn stays in on the offense. Plesher is going to stay on the defensive end, or excuse me, now he's going to come up. Quinn's going right back. So, got that offensive set. Those players you want to see out on the field right now. Honda thought about shooting it. Swings it to Plesher. Plesher swinging. Oh, but a good job there by Illinois to cut it out of Plesher's hands. Gran was able to hold on. And now the shot's off.
I think that was two back-to-back saves.
I think so. And it looked like number 7, Connor Montgomery, was trying to get the scoop after the save into the goal, but just goes too high. Kind of a missed opportunity there.
Yeah, and Vala doing a really, really nice job right there. I mean, back-to-back saves. He got a taste of a little bit of everything, right? You got the initial long shot that he saved, and then comes out of goal, try to get the scoop shot in, and he has to save up close near post as well.
Yeah, Vala is having himself a day. And you can credit a lot of that to his defense, making Illinois take some tougher shots. Honda swinging to Wilcox. Now Adkins with it. And so Hornets taking their time again, 25 seconds on that shot clock. Bless swings it back around to the X. Going to try to make a move from there, but has to pass it up. Long shot coming. That one's just wide left, and it's going to go back to Illinois. And I think that's not the shot Kalamazoo wanted there. Illinois finally getting that break on the other end, but now again, kind of that break is stopped instantly by the Hornets. A pass that's just a little off.
Just still having those troubles, right? Those passing troubles, as the Scarlet Hawks are going to have to try to figure out something quick to stop the bleeding here.
And they're given some opportunities. It looks like the Hornets' number 44, Cale Cook, just kind of stepped out on the outside, and it gives it to the Scarlet Hawks. And so kind of a give and clear after a player goes out of bounds. That's really refreshing. They've struggled with clears today. And if you can't get your clears, you know, it's hard to get anything rolling. So ball is still swinging. Now Leonard has got it. And still trying to isolate. Here comes Montgomery, but Montgomery is given high pressure. Swinging around, the Hornets are stopping everything. Sosa rolls. The slide comes, good help. And now Sosa loses it. Hornets force the turnover. Quick on the attack. Shot from the long side, no good. A good save by Littler.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at letting that shot off. I feel like you got a little bit of room to be creative right now and have a little bit more fun. I say let that shot off every time now.
And I think that shot was Bungart, which is nice to see from him. And a shot there is going to be good, though. They're back on the board after a long streak of nothing.
Yeah, and I was just about to mention that Illinois might get out of the third period very, very quiet, right? Not getting any goals on the board, but I was mistaken. 9-5 now as they're able to kind of grow their lead. Excuse me, they're able to kind of grow their points on the board just a little bit.
Yeah, cut away at the deficit. Slowly just kind of snip their way back in it. And the face-off, time cutting off the clock, going to be on the push. Be relief to get a shot on goal. They do somehow.
Yeah, only under 6 seconds left.
And the clock starts back up. You really have to find something, but on the outside, just cannot. So well done by the Hornets to eliminate anything in those last few seconds. But Illinois, they get back on the board.
Yeah, let's just talk a little bit about this third period because I feel like it was a little bit different, maybe a little bit more similar to that first period in terms of how quiet Illinois was sitting. Shots on goal, you were sitting at 9-2. Shots in general was 12-4. So, I mean, quality over quantity, maybe you can kind of argue that case for Illinois, right? They only had 4 shots. Then 2 of them were on goal. They got 1 of those to be a goal and able to kind of make sure they have something to show for this third period. And turnovers, you got the Hawks sitting with 10 and then the Hornets with 5. So really a lot of these smaller categories in terms of stats and in terms of these turnovers, these clear attempts, there's some subtle differences, right? But they're starting to add up and build to kind of the scoreboard that we're seeing now with 9-5 here. Not a lot to say other than the fact that Illinois sitting is very quiet right now. I mean, I'm expecting them to come out into this fourth period very aggressive, right? You know that you're down 4 goals. You know that you got to get on the board. You at least want to cut at the deficit. And you were only able to get 1 during the third period. I would argue to believe that they are going to come into this fourth period very hungry and very aggressive. And that's something that this Kalamazoo side is going to have to be prepared for and kind of know how they can kind of combat that defensively while still producing on that offensive side.
Yeah, and really the Hornets have done a good job of, riding off those mistakes. But those small mistakes for Illinois have been really surprising. There have been passes that I think, you think about making the right pass, the right move, But there have been a lot of them where it's just been a little odd and abnormal. Ones that we don't usually see players take risks in when you're down by this much. So they'll probably start to cut those back, start to really clean it up. And face off for the fourth quarter. Illinois gets it. And as you said, Maya might be coming out with a lot faster pace, trying to feed the hot hand or whatever hand they can feed. And a nice pass there. That one finds the back of the goal. Maya, you might have just called it. Will Von Iser found the cut and the back of the net.
Yeah, I told you they're going to come out stepping a little bit different, and it felt like the Hornets just weren't exactly ready for it. Illinois Tech really, really pushing the tempo right now, and then Hornets were trying to adjust to that, right, trying to keep their marks, and then they're just able to get the shot off before the Hornets can settle into it. Nice work there as they cut the deficit down to 3.
And the Hornets now feeling a little bit different, but not yet quite defeated after those 2 goals. And a big hit from behind, and Quinn is going to be called for the penalty, probably unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, well, a lot behind the challenge. I don't know.
I think if you get him from behind, that's the biggest part. You know,
that's the issue right now. Because I was going to say it was pretty technical in terms of how he went about it, but coming in from behind it probably is what set it off.
It's kind of like that slide tackle, you know, if you don't get it right. There's so many different things in every sport where just a small little differences can really change the call. So Illinois, power play. They've taken advantage of it before. Can they do it here? Sosa on the outside with it.
Yeah, if they're able to take advantage of it here, I'll tell you that the Hornets are going to change their game plan completely.
And a crazy shot from Van Iser. Goes for the jump shot. Pretty far out there. I mean, he really went for it. And on those power plays, those aren't quite the shots you always go for.
Yeah, especially because you have a little bit of more room and more people to build closer to the goal.
And now we've got even numbers back out there, so they couldn't take advantage of the numbers. But another shot from Van Iser. My goodness, he's unstoppable right now.
Yeah, Illinois Tech kind of felt the scarcity a little bit, right? Kind of felt this pressure to score. They scored 2 back-to-back goals very quickly here, putting them right back into this game. Hornets sitting at 9, and then the Scarlet Hawks with 7. So now it gets a little bit dangerous for these Hornets. You still got just over 13 minutes here in the fourth period, and they're going to have to figure out, okay, we need to now really step on this gas pedal and get maybe 2-3 more on the scoreboard to kind of secure this win. Because right now, I'm telling you, seeing if Illinois can score 2 goals back-to-back like that tells me that they can score another 2 just as quickly, and the Hornets have to be wary.
And wary after some big hits. The Hornets are probably, you see the aggression go up a tiny bit off the face-off. But a 2-point game, big difference in such a short amount of time. Nearly 3 minutes they've gotten back in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if Van Iser, though, they look for him. Leonard swings to Montgomery. Stocker trying to attack. And here in that exposition, he's trying to get to the crease. He does! And again, Van Iser with the goal, Maya.
I mean, he is just on fire right now. And I'm almost in shock right now as the Scarlet Hawks are able to build and crawl their way back into this one. Only sitting down 1 goal, and yet, I mean, talk about a momentum switch, because right now you could get whiplash from how quick momentum switched back over to the Scarlet Hawks. I mean, the Hornets are going to have to figure something out. I expect them to take a timeout if they can.
Yeah, in the next type of dead ball or possession they get, you have to be blazing ahead and pushing whenever you can. But right now, you got to keep your eye on Van Iser if they put him back on the offensive end, because 4 goals in such a short amount of time. And now he's about to get the ball back in his hands. The Illinois native on the trip up to Michigan, only coming in today with 3 goals, has got 4 right now. So Van Eisen back with the ball in his hands. Thought about it. Nice pass to Sosa. That one's way wide.
Yeah, and every shot makes you a little bit nervous right now, right? Every shot can kind of tie up the score, and then you're kind of sitting in that situation that we talked about earlier in the season, when the Hornets kind of wanted to make a statement starting off the season, and then we're actually into double overtime. So
it looks like after 2 flags are thrown, this is going to give the Hornets now a power play.
I heard the whistle. Yeah, I heard the whistle as well, and the flag was on the field. Yeah. No, it should be normal. Right?
So I'm not 100% sure what's happening out there after seeing some flags on the field. Brzezinski, though, does have it. Brzezinski gets the screen from Adkins. Shot is off and good again. Brzezinski finds the corner. Oh, my goodness, just the same shot every time, Maya. And it gets more and more impressive every time I see it.
And that's exactly what needed to happen, right? You needed some type of response from this Hornet side. Brzezinski was able to provide that, and also able to provide a little bit of a security goal now as they just continue to grow the lead. They gotta widen the gap, especially now that you've seen kind of this attacking power that the Scarlet Hawks can kind of been hiding maybe in that first, second, and third period. I don't know what happened during that switch. They come alive, and now it's just nice to see a good response here from the Hornets and see if they can kind of grow that a little bit more, get a little bit more secure in the win.
So back up by 2. Brzezinski didn't need to pass the ball once on that last possession, Maya. He just knew he had an opening and took the chance. So Dubek with it. Dubek swings to Montgomery. Montgomery's been a little bit more quiet today. Same with Sosa, but Van Eisen has been able to clean it up and take whatever type of leftovers he can eat today. So swinging around to the X position now, back outside to Stockerp. Stockerp looks like, yeah, I'm not too sure. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just a lot of building here, but I like that they're still being aggressive. They're still opting to take the shot off.
And a tough pass from Van Eisen goes straight into Sears. And Sears gets the interception, but their pass is just a little off. And goalkeeper Littler is going to pick it up.
Yeah, and I want to mention that. Keep Van Eisen on the field. I mean, in just under 3 minutes, he was able to get up to 4 goals in this game. That is a wild stat to think about.
Oh, Maya, oh my gosh. We just missed it, I think. But there was I think it was offside. I'm not too sure what happened, but a little bit of a mistake from Illinois is giving it right back to the Hornets. This is a important possession right now.
Yeah, really important possession and opportunity for the Hornets to kind of stake their claim in this one.
So Plesher with it, with that speed. Pass to the inside is battered around, ground ball picked up by the goalkeeper, but given to the Hornets some contact. Illegal contact is going to allow them to keep it here, and Tate Bless is on that outside. So in the alley is Brzezinski. Brzezinski, I mean, however he plays, he just has the hot hand. It's going to give it to Plesher. Plesher, top of the box. No slide quite yet. Ooh, kind of found himself in between 3 players. It was the right shot at the right time.
Yeah, just not the right angle.
No. And so, again, some shot clock stuff going on.
It's nice to see Plesher go for that, though, right? Especially when I'm thinking right now the Hornets just got to take more shots. They got to keep it on the Scarlet Hawks half.
And so pass there from Bless is deflected and goes into the long stick of D.Y. Saki. But there, Hornets, good contact, but looks like they might be called for a penalty. Let's see. Ooh, looks like it's going to be a 1-minute penalty. I'm not sure on who is going to be in that box. But it looks like Plesher is actually. No, Plesher? I can't tell. Can you tell, Maya?
Yeah, waiting to see which player takes the knee.
Oh, I think it's Adkins.
Yeah, it might be Adkins, actually.
Yeah. I guess Adkins was kind of standing there accepting his fate for a little while and leisurely rolls to the box. And not where the Hornets want to be. Kind of a silly opportunity for the Scarlet Hawks.
Yeah, and scary right there for the Hornets as they almost got out of position, opening up that channel for Illinois to kind of sneak one into the net. So they got to be wary. You don't want to chase the bait here.
Definitely, and Sosa, they keep swinging. Notice Van Eisen is in that X position on the other side, trying to find the crease. And our number 3 Stockerp with it. And Sosa, some good ball movement from Illinois right now. Van Eisen, a tough shot. And a good job of taking the contact is number 31 for the Hornets. Carson Erke, and there, more contact, good save. And the Hornets on the push again.
Yeah, really nice defensive play of that power play right there. They were able to stay in position and still find their marks and just protect the goal. I mean, really nice. That's exactly how you want to play every power play, able to kind of keep everything out of the danger zone.
Adkins being harassed at the halfway mark, and he's going to be called for going over the back. Wow.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised nothing got called in the opposite way. It was a lot of back and forth right there.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, just kind of surprising. But now, shots off, and another good save from Vlad there. No worries. Might have been a little too quick of a shot, I think, for Illinois.
Yeah, I got to agree a little bit right there, right? I know they are pressing on that gas pedal because they know they're running out of time. And I do think they're playing better in a higher, faster tempo. But they got to pick their shots a little bit cleaner.
So Bless, rainbow outside to Brzezinski. Brzezinski starting to dodge. The slide comes. Now to Plesher. Plesher's been quiet. But a good pass to Bless. Bless just off on the pass, and Breeden was able to clean it up, but Bless tried to go for a jump shot of his own. So Breeden also has been quiet this whole game. He hasn't been able to find a matchup he likes. Breeden swings it to Brzezinski, now to Plesher. Plesher back to Brzezinski. Right now, Hornets are just swinging it around. Seeing what kind of openings they get. Brzezinski wanted to get that kind of angle. Oh, wow. And this one's going to go back to Scarlet Hawks. That was a real close call there.
Yeah, I guess they're saying that the keeper was a little bit closer to that out of bounds ball.
I guess so. And now a deep pass is going from the goalkeeper, Littler. And now with an open goal, the Hornets just kind of hockey slide it to Plesher. They need to confirm this clear here. And some good ball movement will do that. Another great pass.
Yeah, long pass. Able to connect it down. Field, really nice movement.
And now Honda is out there. We see a couple players taking seconds to breathe, allowing all your utilities and tools to come out.
Yeah, and that's nice movement. Again, I said you got to pick and choose the moments you're going to be aggressive. Right now, you're winding down the clock, and then when you choose to be aggressive, you take that chance and opportunity.
So Bless now back to the outside. Wilcox had some space. The slide comes. Ooh, thought about it. Honda really wanted to take that one. And Hubish is just kind of thinking about it. Now gives it back to Adkins, and Adkins got to hurry with 5 seconds on that shot clock. Shot is off, no good.
Yeah, and it wasn't actually a bad shot at that. I mean, especially when you know you only got 5 seconds on the shot clock, to get that type of quality of a shot off, really, really nice job by Adkins.
And so Atkins doing a good job, and now defense is doing a good job. Sticks on the ground.
I'm not exactly sure here, but
It's going to go to the Hornets.
yeah, a lot of hacking back and forth and able to kind of regain possession are the Hornets.
We see a flag. Penalty is going to be called soon for a penalty.
Not sure.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know if it was for the prior whistle and then just showing off the flag, but doesn't look like anything's coming out of it, actually.
Yeah, not quite. See Coach Redco visibly upset, though, on the Hornet sidelines. We'll see what that results in after the Hornets' offensive possession. Nowak with it. Attacking, and the slide comes with aggression. And that pass is off. And it's going to go to Illinois after a pass just a little bit off the mark. So all officials are going to talk this one over, trying to figure out what went on.
Yeah, especially because there was, I think, 2 flags on the field. And I'm not sure if one was just left there by mistake or...
Oh, given an opportunity, I think they've got a power play, but I'm not 100% sure. We see Sosa in the box, I believe, for Illinois.
Yeah, no knee taken yet, though. But maybe it does look like that's our situation here.
Yeah, he's in that box. And now a timeout from Illinois. Here, Kalamazoo fans getting a little hype about that.
And I actually like this timeout call, especially because, one, you've already had a lot of time to think about what's going on here, as everybody had a little bit of confusion. But 2, you're sitting down 2 goals, and now you're going to get into this unfortunate power play situation. You got to make sure the whole team is kind of on the same track of mind. Okay, how are we going to defend this one so it doesn't end up like the last power play? And also, what are we going to do when we gain possession? Because we've seen that they are able to score really quickly back-to-back goals, but now it's going to be like, okay, we got to make that happen again without giving up a goal in the process. So I actually really like this call here. Figure out if everybody's kind of on this same track and everybody's kind of just on the same play. You want to make sure that everybody is making sure they're making their connections. They've had a little bit of trouble with those passes. You got to make sure that's not in the situation right now.
Definitely, and with that timeout, Hornets with the advantage on that power play. I mean, they've been able to get good shots off, but certainly this fourth quarter has been a different one. If we're looking at this fourth quarter alone, Hornets have been kind of lacking. I mean, what can you say about that, Maya? I know you've got some information.
Yeah, you want to talk a little bit about lacking. I mean, Illinois Tech just came out guns blazing. Like, they were ready. They were on their front foot. They were having those shots off. They had 5 shots so far in the fourth period compared to Kalamazoo's 1. And I feel like that's pretty curious. Compared, it was 8-6. So just the fact that they're out shooting Kalamazoo says something, right? It says, okay, they are kind of hungry to kind of equalize and kind of get on that scoreboard. And it's just Kalamazoo didn't meet that. And I feel like now they've settled into this fourth quarter. But when the Illinois first came out, right, it was something completely different. And the Hornets had to resettle. They had to regather and kind of figure out, okay, what is this new team that we're facing? What is kind of this new drive that they brought into the fourth quarter, and how can we respond? And I feel like they've done a really good job so far of doing that, but now they got to kind of really take advantage of this power play and make sure that they don't let all these opportunities go to waste.
And power play has started, Maya. You're right. Have to make everything goes into place. And we see they're running that same offense Illinois was running on those power plays, kind of that one man in the middle. This is always going to leave one person open. The risk is going for the skip pass because of those long sticks.
Now, it's not the tightest of a bunker for Illinois. They're playing this really similar to how they did last time, but still not chasing as much.
So Breeden on the outside, a lot of movement. See the pass to Plesher, a good catch from Plesher, but time is ticking down. 6 seconds. Shot is off. Long shot goes right into the hands of Littler, but I think it was on target, Maya.
Yeah, Littler able to kind of utilize his stick and scoop up the ball, but either way, it was still on goal.
And got to be kind of excited about that one, Illinois. A good defensive possession on the power play, taking advantage of that.
Yeah, this transition is where they've had a little bit of trouble. Can they come out and produce something out of it?
Graff putting pressure on Sosa. Ooh, but a timeout. It's called by Illinois. Perfect timing timeout, I think.
Yeah, especially when you know you might lose possession right there. Sosa, again, has been primarily quiet compared to his other games and has been met with a lot of defense from this Kalamazoo side. And you'd expect that, right? Illinois obviously doing their homework and putting the defense on Breeden a lot. So now that you see that on Sosa, it's kind of like, okay, how can we still find a way to get some shots on the goal and find other kind of channels of attack? They've done a pretty good job of that, especially earlier in this fourth period, but it's kind of like it stopped, right? They had this spark, this flame, and now it's kind of died down, and this is when they need it. You only got 1 minute and 43 seconds left on the time, and you're down 2 goals. So if you want that spark and you know you can score in under 2 minutes, we've seen it before, right? Can they kind of force that now? Can they force this option? And for the Hornets side, it's like, how do we stop that? How do we make sure that they don't have that channel, that opportunity to score back-to-back goals and kind of even out the scoreboard?
And with players like Van Eisen, who can show up in just seconds of scoring, you know, back-to-back to back-to-back, I think keeping your eye on him is important. And I'm curious if they focus maybe on him a little bit more now that they understand he's a pretty notable threat on the offensive end.
Yeah, and then it's hard though, right? Because you can't focus too much on one player and then open up the field, and that's kind of what has happened. I think in the past power plays where they kind of all players kind of gravitate towards one player, towards the ball, and leaves other channels open. So kind of seeing how they kind of stick to their positions.
And Sosa, you see a higher amount of intensity from both teams right now. Leonard does a good job getting inside. And now Montgomery swings to Van Eisen. Van Eisen for the shot. That one goes right off Sears. Looks like it kind of got off Sears' head, if anything.
Yeah, and a lot of power behind it as well for it to be kind of a straight shot to Sears.
But that's Van Eysen's spot. 8 seconds on that shot clock. Need to get something off, and there, a turnover going to the Hornets. A minute remaining in this game.
And the passing troubles continue.
Ooh, but a flag is going to be called right at midfield. And unsure what exactly it is.
Or who it's on.
That too. And so clock might have to be reset and turned back just a tiny bit, but don't know what's going on here.
Well, looks like we got a Hornet player stepping off.
Oh, boy. And that really isn't good for the Hornets. I mean, 54 seconds left, game clock not going to be altered. Maybe there's a player stepping on field when they weren't supposed to, or...
Yeah, not exactly sure, but either way, this is the situation that the Scarlet Hawks want to be in. You got just about a minute left, right? You got a power play now situation where you're a man up. And really, it's all up to you now to utilize this time wisely. You got a minute and 2 seconds. So a lot of time to just get in some type of channel of a score here and get on the board. You don't want to take up too much time.
And so they're still swinging it around, trying to utilize this power play. You see them slowly creeping in closer and closer to the goal. But good pressure by the Hornets. Van Eysen on that. Excuse me, not Van Eysen. We see Stockerp hit it from there, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they wanted. You're sitting 10-9 now.
And after the penalty, labeled as a bench penalty.
And Illinois Tech gets a goal from number 3, Alexander.
So this is interesting, Maya.
Yeah.
10-9, Hornets leading. But after a really nice goal from Illinois.
So this face-off, there's a lot of weight behind it. Doesn't matter.
Ball is loose, but it goes to the Scarlet Hawks. Scarlet Hawks with 25 seconds.
They got to keep it clean.
Everyone does here. Quinn pressuring. Montgomery swings to the back. 15 seconds. Stocker just got a shot off. Now Sosa. Sosa shot, no good. That's wide right.
Lucky there. Very lucky. They weren't able to break the bunker, and they had to shoot from long. But now they only got 5 seconds to make something happen.
And the clock is going to tick down after a not so great pass, and the Hornets are going to take this one away 9-10 here on Mackenzie Field. And I mean, kind of a scary ending there for the Hornets. What are your thoughts, Maya?
Yeah, honestly, like, as you said, it got nervous, right? Especially in this fourth period. And I just don't know how, but the Hornets able to scrape it out alive, right? You had Illinois Tech just come alive. I talked about that spark earlier in that fourth period and how they lost it and how they needed to regain it. Well, you had a quick shot off and a score very late in this fourth period, and you just needed to see one more. So really, you got to tip your hat a little bit off to Illinois, able to claw their way back into it after being down 4 goals at one point, able to get their way back into it, then get it as close as a 10-9 score. I mean, it really just doesn't reflect what happened for a majority of the first, second, and third period. But when you look at the scoreboard, it looked like it was a lot closer of a game than it was for those first 3 quarters.
Yeah, this is one of those games where the Hornets, they get a win. They played really, really well offensively and defensively. But in those situations and moments where it really mattered, sometimes critical errors, it's critical small errors. I mean, a bench player getting a penalty, it's not ideal situation. Those are things that you can improve upon. But other than that, Maya, as you said, a really great day from both teams. Can take a lot of wins out of just this single game alone. A lot of good stuff they can talk about in film, that's for sure.
Yeah, of course, and let's just talk about a little bit of those before we close out here. So turnovers, and overall for this game, Illinois Tech had 32 turnovers comparatively to the 21 from Kalamazoo. Then you got shots on goal. You have Kalamazoo with 25 to 17, and that difference is really going to come from that third and second period where Illinois Tech was sitting primarily very quiet. In terms of saves, you got 15 from Illinois and 8 from Kalamazoo. And then all around, I want to also take a look at the leaders a little bit here as we look over, just trying to find the individual leaders here. So for goals, you got Plesher with a hat trick with 3. And then as well, following right behind him, I believe it's going to be Brzezinski with 3, Tate Bless with 1, Nowak with 1. And then you look over at the Illinois Tech side, Von Eisler with 4, Sosa with 1, Bedoin with 1, and then Stork with 1. So really, Von Eisler coming out with that 4. I mean, that was that spark that I was talking about earlier. You look at assists, Atkins coming through on the assist side with 2, Bitcoin with 2, and then Montgomery with 2 on Illinois side. So a lot of kind of hidden heroes for this Illinois Tech side, right? Especially with Sosa sitting pretty quiet for the Scarlet Hawks. And then you look over at the Kalamazoo side, and you had Breeden pretty quiet today, but then someone like Max Plesher to come out with a hat trick, then followed that with another hat trick from Luke Brzezinski. That is just phenomenal work, and you can tell that their offense was working tonight. And it's just those small sparks that came back and brought Illinois back into the game to get us to the score that we have now, 10-9 at the end of this one.
100%, Maya. I mean, 2 star players might be coming out of this game, Luke Brzezinski and Will Van Iser. Both of them been a little bit more quiet in those earlier games in this season, but today showing up. Either way, the Hornets are going to take this one 10-9. I'm Quentin Powers.
I'm Maya Pasillas.
And thank you all so much for joining us.